So Dave Ramsey recently posted a YouTube video that says why Dogecoin and Bitcoin are stupid investments. And what happens on the show is a caller calls in traditional fashion. They talk about that they're taking Dave's advice, but some of their friends are pressuring them into Bitcoin or Dogecoin and saying they're really good investments.
I've got a lot of friends who are buying into cryptocurrency, and my investments are all in mutual funds like you recommend.
But what happens is actually not what the title says. Dave goes on to talk about that these are speculative investments and he doesn't fully understand them. And he takes a semi-thoughtful approach of saying that people have made a lot of money on these investments, but they might be high risk.
Versed in that I am, but I follow what you
it's
say.
had an incredible year.
Yeah.
People made a lot of money on it this year, without a doubt. No question about that. But they make a lot of money on cocaine, too.
That's right.
And they make a lot of money on, playing futures. And they make a lot of money at the blackjack table. And they make a lot of money betting football. But these are not investment strategies.
That's correct.
These are things that you can jump into or jump out of that are uber unbelievable high risk.
And while I'm obviously a Bitcoin bull, I can respect that. He makes some analogies here that you're going to see where he's saying it's like cocaine and a lot of people made money on cocaine, or a lot of people made money on sports betting. And here's where things get very different in my opinion. I believe that Bitcoin is a very volatile asset. There's no question about that. It goes way up, it goes way down. But here's the thing. In every cycle in Bitcoin, the low in the next cycle is always higher than the previous high. So if you think about it like this, in the 2017, 2018 cycle, before that cycle started, the highest Bitcoin ever got was around $1,000. Bitcoin shot up to almost 20,000 and then crashed down to 3,000. But the low at 2018 was maybe $3,000, was still 300% higher than the previous all-time high. And so they're highly volatile, but they go up consistently, which is very different than the analogies he gives with sports betting. I'm not going to get into the economics of cocaine. Obviously, it's an illegal substance in most of the world, although Pablo Escobar is one of the wealthiest people in the world. That's kind of a side issue to look at, or probably actually just to avoid. But at the end of the day, I think that there's a few things to consider when you take a look at this video. One, the title is really clickbait, and when you look at his tone, his sentiment, he's saying that he's not making a prediction one way or another. He's a pretty conservative guy.
And all the gold bugs are going, Dave Ramsey's an idiot. He doesn't understand. No, Dave Ramsey completely understands. I've lost my butt in a bunch of high-risk investments over the years. I quit doing it.
He's recommending, it sounds like mutual funds or ETFs or things of that nature. And two, his goal is to entertain. His goal is to be highly watched. His goal is to be visible. His goal isn't to go into the nuances, and very rarely will these TV personalities come around and say, well, I don't know, and it's not in my expertise. It might be a great investment. It might be a bad investment. So he steers away from it. But if you look at what's underlying and what he's saying, he's really just saying he doesn't understand whether it's good or bad. He's not personally making an investment in it. And this is actually kind of similar to what Warren Buffett said, where he's not personally investing in it. And Warren Buffett recently said this at the 2021 Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meeting. So all in all, you get another highly accredited or very thoughtful or thought leader in the investment space that tends to be of a little bit of an older generation, and I respect where he's coming from. He's taking a position where he's more or less saying, I don't know, with a little bit of a spin because, he's a TV host or a TV personality or a YouTube personality. But overall, I respect the video. I don't love the title. I think it's clickbait. But beyond the title, it's totally fine.